It's definitely gotten steep and rocky. It's hard to brake. The front wheel is starting to slide a little bit. I'm just concerned that I'm going to slide out in the front. This bike is just not set up for these rocky roads. Today, I'll be riding through Copper Canyon to Urique. It's about 90 miles on dirt to the turnoff to Urique, and then about another 15 miles down into the canyon bottom where that town is. Most people average 10 to 15 miles an hour at best. The road is rough and dirt. So probably take 7 hours, maybe 8 hours to get there. It's gonna be the most exciting day of the trip. Wish me luck. All right, I have brought with me a couple liters of water and a lunch, light lunch, because I did find a breakfast place right next to the hotel here. It's about halfway to Urique is the town of Tubares. There aren't really any services there. There's apparently a tiny little storefront lady that sells some, I don't know what she sells, water, maybe some very light snacks. Sometimes she's open, sometimes she's not. And there's no gas, so I'm going to get gas here, top off the tank before I leave. Oh. But today is the biggest day. It's going to be entirely in dirt. Tomorrow should be about 30 miles of dirt. And today should be about just over 100 miles of dirt. Assuming I make it to Urique tonight. Copper Canyon is, they say it's deeper and bigger than the Grand Canyon, and that is partly because it is actually not one single canyon, but a network of canyons kind of all grouped together. They say there's 6 main canyons, more or less, and they all comprise the what's called as Barrancos del Cobre. Did I say that right? Copper Canyon. There is a tourist train that leaves from one of the towns on the coast and goes up through the canyon to the far end near Correal and then back. I think it takes, they said, 8 hours or 10 hours to do it, something like that. And it takes a different route than where the roads go. My understanding is there are no roads in the route that the train goes, so that would be a nice way to see it. The most direct route is the one I'm taking, which is what most people take from Choix. Never did learn how to properly pronounce that. Choix to Correal with an optional stop in Urique. And the way I'm going day 1, I'll go to Urique, and like I said earlier, Tubares is a tiny little hamlet about halfway between the two. I'm having a little bit of trouble with this GPS because it's not really navigating correctly. All right, this is where I turn off the paved road. Not sure if that rain yesterday is going to make any difference. Looks pretty dry here. Well, I have made the decision to turn around and go back. It has been 2.5 hours since I left the pavement on the dirt road. And I am just barely, actually not even quite halfway to Tubares. Tubares being halfway to Arique. So I do understand that the road gets better beyond Tubares. I'm in the worst part. But at this rate, it's going to be 5 hours to Tubares, and that will give me another 2.5 hours to go to Arique, the same distance that it took me 5 hours. And in addition, I've reached this point. It's not going to come out on the camera here. It's not horrible, but it's definitely gotten steep and rocky. It's hard to brake. The front wheel is starting to slide a little bit. And I'm concerned if well, from here the road goes down and drops into this valley. I don't know if you can make it out on the video here, but it's carved into the hillside way on the other side. And I just don't know what the condition is. I'm hot, my heart's beating fast because of the heat. I still have enough water, but I think I'm just gonna turn around while it's safe before I drop the bike or have trouble picking it up and really tire myself out. I'd head back to Choi, spend another night there. Two other things happened on the way here. I stopped by this guy. Well, I guess he was working. He was standing in the road, long ways back. And I said, "Is this the road to Tubares?" And he said, No. It's back the other way. I was going through this town and following what was clearly the main road. The guy said, "No, you have to go back." But then he said, "Can you give me a ride?" And he wanted to jump on the back. And I'm like, there's absolutely no way. Even if I had space, I wouldn't, want him to come on. And he's like, "Oh, I can fit." I'm like, no way. And then he's like, "Well, can I have some of your water?" And I said, "Yeah, okay, sure." And he took, because he saw my water tucked in the back, he took it and just gulped down half the bottle. So it's a nice thing to do, give someone water, but that was, a quarter of what I had brought with me. Maybe 15, 20 minutes later, I passed some ranchers who were on two of them on one ATV. They were herding some cattle up the road. And I stopped and asked them, "Is this the road to Tubares?" And they said, yeah, it goes to Tubares. So I'm like, okay. But it has gotten steep here. I'm just concerned that I'm going to slide out in the front. I did walk down a ways, and it looks like it gets better, but what if it gets way worse? And I have to come back up this. Again, the camera's not showing it, but it's steep and slippery, especially going down when you're trying to go slow. So I'm just gonna go back. My plan is to go and spend the night back in Choi again. This bike is just not set up for these rocky roads. My dirt bike would have no problem with this, but not this heavy bike with me on it and all the luggage. So I'm gonna go back before I get myself in trouble.
We've got some guys on horseback. Two of them driving a herd of cattle, actually. Hey, Sardies. Please. Just got so steep back there. I was just super concerned that I was gonna drop it going down. I was through the cross something, worse. And then I'd have trouble getting back up that if I was able to turn it around. It turned around right where it was, and it's not the easiest thing to turn around. Like, it's heavy bike, and when you're on a rocky road like that, it's just hard to keep the balance on the bike and slowly turn around in space. And it's been in the lane. I think it'll be easier, but because it's heavy, it's not very easy. But I'm gonna go back to Joyce. Maybe with the chance to ask someone how to do it tonight. Another thing that I didn't mention this morning, I did not sleep very well last night. I was apprehensive, I guess, today. I was rolling around bed till 3 morning. I originally wanted to get an early start, but I fell asleep at 3. Woke up at 7 after 4 hours of sleep, and of course was, feeling it, pretty tired. So I didn't get out of the hotel until about 9:30. Going on the breakfast, buying some groceries, just trying to wake myself up. Ideally, I wanted to sleep at 7, which is the time I ended up waking up. Or 8 at the latest, but yeah, I got out at 9:30 out of the hotel and still only had 4 hours of sleep. So, because of that heat, then the upper 30s Celsius, that is upper 90s Fahrenheit. Of course, I don't want to have to throat. And if I drink, I brought 2 1 liter bottles of water. We drank a full cup, the first one. So, I know there's probably a place to get water, a little shop in Tavares, needed there, but there's a lot of little things stacking up that with the overheating and being so tired, I didn't have a good feel for my my body. I didn't want to risk it. Sure, if I had gone with, someone else, or even a lighter bike, or if I was, 10, 15 years younger, like the last time I took my motorcycle into Latin America. Better to take more time than to, have a unpleasant adventure. So I got stuck out here to eat. Alright, this is the spot where I talked to them fine. Sad. Really weird thing. I mean, like I said, he wanted me to give him a ride. I'm in the back, as you know, I'm cold luggage. Then, right after that, big, huge flatbed truck drove by, big enough to carry a car. And he could have, like that truck driver and, get him private cab or, jump in the back or something. But he didn't even bother to fight that guy down. So I don't know what I want him to get on my bike. Who knows? It's not here now. So from here, it's still 2 miles back to the pavement. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's far safer just to find a way around this part of the the canyons. And come in from the other side if I still want to see it. Just too hot, desolate, bike's too heavy, doesn't have the suspension travel. You know, it's not very wise. So, anyway, let's head back. Up to the main road. So it is now 3:15. I turned around, I think I said it was 12:30. 2.5 hours after, well, I first hit this dirt at 10, and then 2.5 hours in, it was at least that coming back out. So even at that same pace, I would be reaching Tubarte's like about now. Sunset's in a little over 2 hours, and from Tubarte's, it's another 50 miles. Just not making the time I need. Definitely don't want to be out here after dark at all. So, yeah, we'll see. But I'm gonna go back and find some ice cream or a nice cold beer.
Back to the map of Mexico. So didn't really go very far today because rode out of Choix, just about 25 miles into Copper Canyon, and then back to spend the night again. Over the next few days, I plan to ride around this whole thing and kind of come back in on the other side. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so at least you can find it again if you'd like to watch the rest of the trip down to Argentina. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.